Hello, this is LEGO Bionicle's Lava Beast. First things first, I love this color scheme. It's a lot more complex than I thought at first glance. It has more colors in it than I originally noticed. It has the full standard LEGO orange for the fingertips. It's got the trans orange, which is actually kind of translucent with just a little bit of frostiness to the claws on the feet. This is a dark orange color used for the lower legs. This here is obviously the trans neon reddish orange color. This is just the regular orange like the fingernails, but blended in with black. This is trans black, or trans brown as some say. It's like a brownish black, whichever way you want to call it. It's that color, so it's got some transparency to it. Black, obviously, plenty of that. Yellow in the print here, and then some gunmetal gray also. Some gunmetal gray elements in the print on the chest, and the jaw is also gunmetal gray, as is the shadow trap element that's used for the back of the head. There's a little bit of gap up there, and obviously that shows another color that's prominent here. You know, it's small in size, but very obvious with the transparent neon, slightly greenish yellow color used for the head. And they went with that same color for the main headpiece and the sort of brain stock piece, so it's all continuous beneath there. This kind of plays tricks with my eyes and my mind personally, and I'm sure that different people will see this in different ways. Depending upon how I look at this, I can either very clearly see the lower jaw as just being an open mouth that's going, ah, or it just kind of fades away. And it depends upon exactly how the light hits the whole thing and kind of what I was looking at first, where my focal point of my eyes moves from and to as I get to that. Sometimes it just kind of disappears and just its overall value just kind of blends in with what I see for light coming through with the crystalline pieces on the shoulders and the kind of overall average value of the chest piece with its print there. So yeah, it just kind of goes back and forth for me whether I see the jaw or not. I do wish that had been a little bit better defined. I do like the print on this chest piece. I feel like it's versatile. You know, it has a graphic style to it that isn't too specific. I feel like it would work with custom creations very well and would work across different themes and other universes that different people would come up with. The rib cage I think looks fine. He does look a little bit gappy from the side, and you know, you do see some Technic pieces back here. The biggest gap is definitely up there in the head. Would have been nice to have something in between there, but I think straight from the back it looks okay. Again, a little bit of gap in here. Would have been nice to have just a little bit of something there, but they did put at least one armor piece on the back, which helps a lot. Now those arms are, to me, the highlights of the set for sure. Everything about the arms, from the crystal pieces up there down to the fingertips, and it's nice to get a little bit of articulation with individual fingers. You can't move the thumbs obviously, but you can move the individual fingers, and you can also kind of rotate these around to kind of make it look like you're opening up the hand just a bit. It can get awkward depending upon how you pose it, but you know, just having some ability to move these around I think is useful. And then they've got kind of an action feature here with these crystal spikes that come off the arms. This is nice. You can grab right here and that can swing, so you get a little bit of scissoring kind of action, although you can't really point that forward to do a proper slice. I guess you can kind of turn it off to the side, have him look in that direction, and then you can use it that way. It's mostly ends up being used for like a slashing forward. I think that this is a little bit more efficient use of that action. But it's interesting, and you know, you can pose this differently, so you can kind of bring those together or even overlap in the opposite direction, which gives just a little bit different stance and look for the guy overall when you look at the whole thing. You know, I like that. I like that right there. Probably even better, you know, just as a pose. But it's interesting, you know, they work fine. They don't stand out too much, those Those gearing mechanisms, I feel like they just fit into the overall design, and I like them. There's also, once again, the action feature with waist articulation in this one. It doesn't work all that well with the length of the arms and the standard position of the spikes, but once again, if you bring one of these forward on each, then you can use those for slashing. So he can do some damage there. Maybe if you just change the angles a little bit like this and go with a more extreme motion all the way from side to side. See, that's dangerous. That's a lot of damage. The set also comes with this new color variant of the Mask of Fire for Toa Tahu. I feel like this is much needed, and this is a good one. Good color scheme with really good, nice blending, kind of teasing of the red into the trans neon greenish yellow color there. So kind of like feathers almost, you know, it really looks like it's flames that are blending in. It's just really nice technique that was used to create this. I really appreciate this new color scheme because I really didn't appreciate the old color scheme with the red that almost looked dark with some of the silver that came into it, and the silver which really didn't match anything else on Tahu at all. Of course, you got the blue underneath there, but when you bring in the new color, you got that brighter red color with the yellow, and now it just ties things together much better. That just, you know, with the flames on his weapons and such, that just looks more proper to me. Almost feels like they've done a lot of work to help fix the color scheme of Tahu with just that swap of the mask. Still probably too much gold here, but I think that this mask is just significantly better than his original one. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is my favorite of the villains for this wave for this year. I like it even better than Umarak the Destroyer, just because this one seems a little bit more complete and a little bit more like it was designed to be it from the start, compared to Umarak, who obviously needed to bring in, you know, some of the design from before, from the Hunter version, but then they brought in a new color scheme and the new mask and stretched it out, and it just doesn't seem as designed from the start, whereas this character here, the Lava Beast, just seems like its own thing, and it owns it. It owns what it is and how it's built. Also, that alternate mask for Tahu does wonders for that character, so in addition to giving you a good figure here, it actually helps one of your other ones to become better. So that's it for my thoughts on this one. As always, please feel free to agree or disagree by leaving your thoughts in a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.